Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and the big game is almost here. In fact, we are less than 3 days away, and the weekend is almost here as well. As you come in, please hit the like button, and I'm about to give you my thoughts on this upcoming Super Bowl. To me, it's already a win-win. There's no Brady, there's no Peppermint Patty. We have two new guys on the scene, young Joe Burrow and the established veteran Matthew Stafford, both number one overall picks. So strap on your seatbelts, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. Here is my predictions for Super Bowl 56. UncleClaude here. As you step in, please hit the like button. I really would appreciate that. I am going to break down the game quarterback, running back. I'm going to go through them all, and I'm going to let you know who I feel it favors and who I am going to pick to win Super Bowl 56 at SoFi Stadium, which is literally a Rams home game. That does not mean they will have the home field advantage. As you know, San Francisco 49ers literally had the home field advantage when they went into SoFi. It did not help them, unfortunately, once Jimmy Garoppolo threw that interception. I do believe that this game will be a much closer game than people think. A lot of people have the Rams blowing the Cincinnati Bengals away. I do not. I think this will be a much closer game than people think. And here we go. Now, what I am going to do is start off with the quarterbacks in this game. Matt Stafford versus Joe Burrow. Now, to be fair, Matt Stafford has had an incredible run. In fact, both quarterbacks have had incredible runs. Matt Stafford literally retired Tom Brady, knocked out Jimmy Garoppolo. Even though Garoppolo, to me, is not a great quarterback, he is a winning quarterback. For some reason, he definitely has a formula with that San Francisco team, even though I'm pretty sure they will turn the keys over to Trey Lance this next upcoming season. Now, Joe Burrow has done a wonderful job as well. Knocked out the number one seed in the Titans. Knocked out Peppermint Patty Mahomes in Kansas City. Not an easy feat. And I tell you what, if you had to go by who beat the better teams, wow, I have to put that as a draw. And you know what? I like Burrow's swagger, but I also like Matthew Stafford's quiet confidence. I have to be fair on that. I tell you what, I think the future from obviously the future is brighter for Joe Burrow, but as far as an edge right now, I have to say it is even when it comes to the two quarterbacks. Burrow is slightly more mobile. Not that Matthew Stafford is a statue back there. He is not. He is a great athlete. But I'm going to say it is even right now at the quarterback position. Now, as far as running back, I think the Rams have a deeper tandem at running back with Cam Akers and Sony Michel. But let's be fair. Joe Mixon is a better running back right now. And even though he has not played well for the most part this playoffs, Mixon had the better season. He went over 1,200 yards. He would have been in the Pro Bowl, but of course, this is a much bigger game. Now, I do believe that they can definitely run the football on the Rams. As good as the Rams front is, you can run on the Rams. I mean, let's face it, the 49ers have shown you that. So now I do believe the Rams running is, and it's crazy because when Sean McVay came into it, he started out as one of those guys who did everything off of play action. Now they pass to basically set up the run. The Bengals are more of a balanced offense, but they do throw the ball a lot more, no question about it. But Joe Mixon is by far the better running back. So I'm going to give the edge to the Bengals. I mean, they are a much more physical running team than the Los Angeles Rams. Now, as far as the wide receivers and tight ends go, I mean, let's face it, that is another tough one there. Now, Tyler Higbee, I'm not sure if he'll be able to play for the Rams. He hurt his knee. But I tell you what, the guy who took over for him did an outstanding job as well. We already know, listen, Cooper Kupp is arguably the best receiver in football. The problem is the second best receiver in football would have to be Jamar Chase. And you could flip it. I mean, you could say that even though Kupp had the better year, Chase is the more dangerous player. You could say that if you want. But I tell you what, Odell Beckham Jr. has definitely helped. He's been wonderful since he's been with the Rams. And I tell you what, this is really the Bengal wide receivers. When you look at the depth, when you look at Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, and Tyler Boyd, listen, that I'm going to say that that's an even one as well, because let's face it, if you want to give the Rams the edge, you could, but I think the loss of Higbee, if I were to make a choice, I would put it more towards the Bengals because they have the more explosive wide receivers. But as far as consistency, the Rams are right there. And Odell Beckham is obviously very explosive. I'm going to just call it even when it comes to that. Now, obviously, here is where the game could be lost for the Cincinnati Bengals, and that's the offensive line. This is where the Rams should have a huge edge. Andrew Whitworth is 40 years old, and he used to play for the Bengals. I mean, he's almost ageless. He reminds me almost of Jackie Slater. And if you know anything about the offensive line in the Rams' history, Jackie Slater was one of the great offensive linemen of all time. And to see him still perform at a Pro Bowl level is just about amazing. It's one of the most amazing things I've ever seen. Now, the Bengals offensive line, Joe Burrow, been sacked 51 times. That's ridiculous. And the fact that they are in the Super Bowl being sacked that many times, that lets you know how explosive the offense for the Bengals is. And also, let's save some room for the Bengals defense. The Bengals defense has performed very well. But this is arguably the biggest edge for either team is the offensive line, and that's going huge to the Rams. It's not even close. Now, when it comes to the defensive line, that is also huge for the LA Rams. And it's not just because of Aaron Donald and Vaughn Miller. Robert Quinn has played very well for them as well. Now, the Bengals front has done pretty well for the most part. I have to be fair on that. And I tell you what, they have a very good pass rush as well when it comes to that. Trey Hendrickson has improved a lot. But I mean, you can't. Excuse me. I said Quinn. I meant to say Leonard Floyd. I apologize for that. Robert Quinn was the guy before him. That's the guy who he took his place. But the Rams, it's not even close. You have to give them the edge when it comes to the defensive line. Now, when it comes to the linebackers, both of them do not possess great linebackers, to be quite honest. But if you're going to give the edge to anybody, it would be the Cincinnati Bengals. And the reason that Vaughn Miller is more of a down lineman. So, but to be fair, Jermaine Pratt, Logan Wilson, they've been outstanding for the Bengals. The Rams linebackers are just not as good. I mean, let's face it, they definitely lack athleticism. No question about it. So when it comes to that edge goes to the Cincinnati Bengals. Now, when it comes to the secondary, I mean, obviously Jalen Ramsey is a great player, no question about it. Now, unfortunately, the Rams lost their original free safety. But Eric Weddle came back out of retirement to help them out. Now, the Cincinnati Bengals secondary is better than people think. Eli Apple's played a lot better. Vaughn Bell has played wonderful. Jesse Bates is very good. And I tell you what, the slot corner is an ex-Steeler, Mike Hinton. And the game may hinge on the way he plays as well. But if I'm going to give it to anybody, obviously I would give it to the Rams, but I would give it to them slightly. Now here, as we all know, the games normally come down to special teams. And right now, I don't know of any better unit the place kicker for the Bengals has been outstanding, this guy McPherson. He hasn't missed all playoffs. He has been the hottest leg in all of pro football. And he's been Adam Vinatieri in his prime hot. And that could be the difference in the ball game. This guy McPherson has won so many games for them. He won the Tennessee game. He won the Chiefs game. Listen, this guy has ice water in his veins. Now, Matt Gay is a very good place kicker for the Rams as well. And when it comes to kickoff returning, they're both about the same. And when it comes to punt returns, again, they're both about the same. But right now, McPherson is the guy. I'm going to have to go with the Cincinnati Bengals when it comes to special teams. I mean, this kid he's been all world as a place kicker. Now it comes down to my prediction. This is going to be a closer game than people think. Now, would I be shocked if the Bengals won? Absolutely not. And that right now, the spread, just a moment. In fact, I'm going to check. What does the line say? Because it was at 4 beginning the week. I don't know what it is now. Just a moment. Right now, the Rams are a 3.5-point favorite, and the over-under is at 48.5. I will go with the over. Now, could this be a blowout? Absolutely. Do I personally believe it will be a blowout? Absolutely not. And in fact, I am going to go with the upset special, ladies and gentlemen. Now, they might not win outright, but I will choose them. 3.5, I believe, is too much for the Rams. I think Joe Burrow is going to keep this close, and I think Joe Burrow is going to beat them. Listen, Cincinnati has been starving for a championship team. They've come close twice in the Super Bowls before. And listen, Kenny Anderson was the MVP of the league in 81 when they went, but they tried to run it in 4 times. That's not going to happen here. Boomer Esiason had a bum arm when they went to the Super Bowl against Joe Montana, and they still almost won it. I think the Bengals are a team of destiny. Everybody's looking towards the Rams. We know the Rams were built for this particular moment, and they've had a heck of a season. But there's just something about this Joe Burrow kid. He reminds me of the other Joes of the past. Joe Namath with the guarantee. Joe Montana. He's more Montana than Namath. And that's a good thing because even though he does turn the ball over a little bit, he's not going to turn it over to the extent that Namath did back in the day. This kid has absolutely no fear. Now, Matt Stafford has had a very good Super Bowl run, but he's still back. Listen, Matt Stafford has just about changed his legacy here. But I trust Joe Burrow in these spots much more than Matt Stafford. Matt Stafford could throw away the game. I understand Burrow could too, but I think Burrow is less likely to do this. And I think the Bengals defense is going to make enough plays. Now, Aaron Donald and Von Miller could wreck the game, especially with that offensive line. I understand that. That is a huge area of concern. But as long as they run the ball, Joe Mixon is physical, and you can wear that Rams defense down with the run game. You can definitely do that. And I do believe they will run the ball better against the Rams front. So I do believe the Bengals pull off the upset here, 34-31 over the LA Rams. And those are my Super Bowl predictions for Super Bowl 56. Again, it's a win-win. No Peppermint Patty, no Tom Brady. That's a wonderful thing. Unfortunately, no Steelers for me. And I understand, hey, a lot of people are asking, why are you wearing a Terrell Owens jersey? He didn't win. Well, that lets you know how foolish you are. Because if you remember that Super Bowl, Terrell Owens on one leg was the best player on the field when it came to that Super Bowl, even though the Eagles lost to the New England Patriots. That was more due to Donovan McNabb choking than the great play of one Hall of Famer, Terrell Owens. But those are my predictions. Bengals 34, Rams 31 in a shootout. And I'm looking forward to the halftime show, of course, with Dre, Snoop, and Mary J. and others. Thank you so much for joining me, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure to hit that like button. UncleClaude signing out. Take care. Stay safe, everybody, and enjoy your weekend and enjoy the Super Bowl. And I will be back after the Super Bowl to give you my thoughts. Thank you so much, everybody. Make sure to hit that like, share, and subscribe button. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your day.